welcome to Verdictum. I am Ananya Singh and you're watching today's legal news, where we apprise you with the recent important legal developments across the nation. Here are the headlines. 23 years as a judge of the High Court and the Supreme Court. No one has told me to decide a case in a particular way, said CJI D.Y. Chandrachud. BCI clarified that foreign lawyers and law firms cannot appear in courts and judicial forums. Supreme Court observes that the presumption as to genuineness of a will cannot be based only on it being 30 years old, as provided under Section 90 of the Evidence Act. Supreme Court agrees to hear Subramanian Swamy's plea to declare Ram Setu as National Heritage Monument. Gujarat High Court dismissed a plea by a man seeking custody of his girlfriend from her husband. Madras High Court holds special Sunday hearing in the E. Palaniswamy and O. Paneerselvam dispute. The woman victim in the Air India urination case moves Supreme Court, seeking directions to DGCA and airline companies to lay down regulations to deal with the incidents of misconduct with passengers on board. Now let's take a detailed look on the headlines. The 50th and current Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, while speaking at the India Today conclave, said that he has not faced pressure from the executive during his career as a judge. He said that no one in his 20 years of being a judge of the High Court and the Supreme Court has told him to decide a case in a particular way. Giving the example of the recent Election Commission judgment, he mentioned that the question of pressure does not even arise. On the criticism faced by the top court for being on long vacations, the CJI argued that the US Supreme Court sits 80 days and the Indian Supreme Court sits for 200 days every year. The Bar Council of India that recently allowed foreign lawyers and law firms to practice in India clarified the move and assured Indian lawyers that such lawyers and law firms can only advise their clients about foreign laws and international laws and will not be allowed to appear in any court or judicial forum. The BCI made the move to clarify its earlier decision after certain sections of the legal fraternity evoked mixed reactions and created some misgivings. A division bench of Justices S. Ravindra Bhatt and Hema Kohli of the Supreme Court upheld the view that the presumption provided under Section 90 of the Indian Evidence Act that provides that a will may be presumed to be genuine on it being proved to be 30 years old cannot be the only criteria to hold that a will is genuine. The top court put forth the view that the genuineness of the will has to be proved in terms of Section 63C of the Indian Succession Act of 1925 and Section 68 of the Indian Evidence Act of 1872. A bench of Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Justice P.S. Narasimha and Justice J.B. Pardiwala of the Supreme Court took note of the submissions made by Subramanian Swamy to declare Ram Setu as a National Heritage Monument and agreed to hear his plea. The matter was mentioned before the Apex Court, stating that the government has not taken any decision in the matter till date, as Swamy was asked to make representation to the government in the matter and come back to court if dissatisfied on January 19 this year. In an interesting case, the Gujarat High Court dismissed the plea of a man for seeking custody of his girlfriend from her husband. The petition claimed that his girlfriend, who was married to another man, was in illegal custody of her husband. A division bench of Justices Vipul Pancholi and Hemant Prachak, who were hearing the matter, dismissed the habeas corpus petition on the ground that the girl is in a marriage that is still subsisting, and so her custody with her husband cannot be said to be illegal. What's also interesting that the petitioner claims that she and the woman have made a live-in agreement on the basis of which he sought her custody. The court, however, held that the petitioner has no locus to file the present petition on the basis of the so-called live-in relationship agreement. In a special hearing on Sunday by the Madras High Court, it was held that they will not stay the elections for AIADMK party's General Secretary, but asked that the results of the elections not to be declared until the next hearing on March 24th. The hearing was done to sort out the differences between the former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, E. Palaniswamy, and O. Paneerselvam of AIADMK. The Supreme Court in February this year had also upheld the Madras High Court order setting aside cancellation of E. Palaniswamy's election as interim General Secretary of AIADMK. The victim in the Air India urination case has moved Supreme Court, seeking directions to be issued by the top court to Director General of Civil Aviation and airline companies to make regulations and guidelines with regards incidents of misconduct with the passengers on board a flight. The court was also requested to direct media to differ on reporting on the incident. That was all on today's legal news. Thank you and keep watching Verdictum. And subscribe to our channel and download the Verdictum app on iOS and Android to keep yourself updated with authentic legal news.